Good morning. Here we are at the wonderful Ali Palace, where 2 years ago, me and TC, the great Tony Cable, was doing this interview. Now I'm here with Scolmore, so let's go in and see what it's all about. Here I've got Guy from Wellington City.
Yeah.
Good to see. Here we are at the Elexshow trade show at Ali Palace 2020. And what are you doing here, Guy?
Well, I've come to see you, mate, obviously, for one. But I'm really interested in looking at the flow connectors here. We've been using a lot of the screw terminal ones, but I've just seen that you've got these new speed fit type. You've just shown me recently that we can unplug this centerpiece.
Yeah.
And you've got a really nice hand on there for we can get the cables in, and then we can easily do it. You've got a nice terminal grip here. We haven't got any screws in it at all, so that really, from our point of view, that's a big downside of the screw terminal type. But what has also now just been found out about, if I go to your interactive board here.
That's my job.
Oh, sorry, do you want to do it? I don't
Right, there you go.
We're out of a job now. Can you go that way and I'll do this?
Go on.
But these multi-way units, probably not in a domestic application, but we do a lot of commercial work where we've got maybe one feed coming in, we've got multiple light fittings. This multi-way unit is going to be really ideal for us, and the fact they're plug and socket, we can make a load of fittings up off-site, and then when we get there...
When they're delivered.
When they're delivered, yeah, that's the thing. And that's for one circuit, and then the other thing I've just found out today... Oh, go on, no, I'm taking
No,
the job now,
no, it's brilliant, because the more you keep talking about it, the more you're going to like it.
Oh, I know. So this unit, by the look of it, it's got 2 switch lines coming in and multi-output, so there's 16 outputs on this. And by configuring the switches on here, this is what you just told me a minute ago, I'm just repeating what you've already told me.
Thank you very much.
By configuring the switches, we can either have one switch line controlling one lot of bank of outputs, or one switch controls all outputs. So the way I look at it, if we can actually pre-wire stuff off-site, have one of these in the ceiling, we're going to save loads of time. And we're not up a ladder, sort of dangling there, trying to do a load of screws, dropping stuff.
Exactly. It's all that when you used to just connect one light into an adapter.
Daisy chain it.
That does it all for you.
Yeah.
And the good thing about, as you say, you can put that, and you can actually go into switches with dimmers and dimming different sort of sections of the lighting system.
I think in a commercial application, probably not a house maybe, unless you've got an access to a void or
good panel access.
Place. But that'd be great for that.
Well, I'm pleased you're happy.
That's really what I'm interested in today.
And also, you're doing some special lighting from a friend of mine.
Oh yes. So we have just started to do all the work for Gabby, the designer on DIY SOS, after we did the one in Wellington City with you. We've got a job tomorrow. We're going to a nice house in the middle of London to do some work. We've done another job in Hertfordshire for us.
So what have you been looking at here? Downlighters, special lighting?
Now you've got a lighting sort of section as well.
If we walk over, this is Reg.
Hello, Reg.
Reg is our
right?
Olivia man.
So we're here just to look at some of your new light fittings.
So what have you got at the moment in this ceiling?
Well, in this particular job, they've got a 6-metre ceiling. So it's really hard to change the lamp because somebody has fitted GU10 fittings, which you can change the lamp, which is fair enough. But because the axis is so high, I said to the customer, really, you want a proper LED fitting where you haven't got to change a lamp because axis is an issue. They've got to either get a scaffold tower or a really big ladder in it, and they're not going to do it themselves.
No.
They have to employ a spark to change a lamp. Well, it's going to become economic to do that. So by having a proper LED fitting where you've got a good life, nobody needs to change it for 5, 6, 8, 10 years, and we've got the warranty. So.
And also with them, the old GU10s, they're yellow. They're just 32.
Yeah, a heat issue with them as well, and obviously with the LEDs, you don't have that heat dissipation that you get with the GU10.
That's what we find is that I think because of a GU10 lamp, the control gear being in the base of the lamp, it's going to melt, it's going to fail, and that's why we get a lot of GU10 failures.
And also when one lamp goes, it actually does trip.
It can knock the circuits out.
Yeah, no, 100%. The LED's got a better quality of light as well.
Yes.
You know, so the client can sit there and have the confidence that that light source is still going to be that same 2-3 years down the line. With the GU10 over time, it will start burning. It will fail. The actual colouring and will start changing.
Even the running costume, you know, you're looking at maybe a 9.5 watt GU10, and you can come down to a 4 or 5 watt LED.
Yeah,
so again, you've even gone from a halogen source where you've had an 80% reduction, still with an LED GU10 to a proper LED fitting. There's another reduction again, isn't it? So.
With our downlight range as well, we have the addition of the click glow on there.
Yes,
so
that's brilliant.
Exactly what we've just been through,
Yeah, that was what we were just speaking about.
Take it out, replace. It's so easy for your first fix and installing wise. Yeah, it's a massive bonus for the contractor and the client.
So where is the click connector on these? Is it on a flying lead?
Yeah, it's on a fly lead that comes off the fitting. Yeah, and both ends are in there, so you know it's not 2001. It's got both ends in there. So literally wire up the other end. Yes, done. As we progress with them, we're introducing the push fit as well, so the piano key ones on the click.
Yeah, that's what we're just looking at, the speed fit one.
Contractors absolutely love that.
Well,
it's quick install.
Yeah, it's all time for us. You know, if we can reduce, we can't really buy the materials a lot cheaper. It's our labour that's now the cost. So by reducing our labour element, that's really what we all got to be looking at. Yeah.
And you know, with our interceptor range of downlighters, the key bit is having that quality as well as having the quick install side.
No, it's got to be good quality still, otherwise it's not worth it.
Especially this is like bespoke lighting, isn't it? It's a special hour, special design and everything.
Taking in the mindset of what the contractor needs to install and how he installs it, and understanding that it's fine bringing
quite often we find that a designer designs something, it looks pretty, it does what they think, give it to us and you go, but you haven't thought about this, this or this. So they failed on the first bit. So by talking to people like us at days like this, you see what we need to know.
And that, you know, that's exactly what our buyer's about. The more feedback we get, we can actually generate a product into the marketplace that's going to be viable for you. If you're happy to buy it, you're going to keep buying it, and the customer's going to keep buying it from us. So that's where the starting point is.
That's really, exactly right.
You know, it's right designing these products, but if it's not contract friendly,
it's got to be a team in essence, haven't we?
So SGTV, as you can see, having these shows, the Elexshow shows, where we've got one in Exeter, we've got one in Coventry, and we've got one in Manchester and Harrogate, are always eye-opening. So come to all these Elexshow shows and we can talk to you. So how was your lunch today?
Excellent, nice sandwich, BLT, Billy.
Oh, I had a pizza, It's like eating calicobble. But other than that, we're here for some reason. Why are we here?
Unicrimp, Bill. They all want to say Unicrimp.
What we want to show you today is, nowadays a lot of people are using downlighters. They go to a 2-plate wiring system rather than a 3-plate where it used to be in the ceilings. So what we've come up with these Unicrimps, with the lever, in the back of the switch, you bring your live and neutral. Your live will go into the switch, but your neutral will go into one of these Unicrimp lever connector blocks. And then when you loop out, your neutral will go out, and obviously on the switch side, it will carry on from the switch. What's good about these, they're small, they're neat. You can't get any electric shocks, can't touch any metal bits of the switch, the back boxes, and then they'll neatly sit in the back of the back box.
You can also do your testing, Billy. There's a test port there at the front end, so you don't have to disconnect.
Oh.
And because the lever, you can reuse the cable, so you can flick it up and rewire.
And also what's good about them, instead of just usually taking solid ones, they can take flexi cables as well.
Up to 4mm.
This is a 4mm one, yeah?
Up to 4mm, from 0.2 up to 4mm in both stranded and solid core cables. And these ones are 32 amp as well.
So again, on testing side of it, if you want to test a radial or a ring main, you can break the circuit, make it safe by putting the cables into the Unicrimp connector block and do some testing. As you said, I didn't realise that you could test it through there.
You can, yeah. On that top side there.
Yeah, I could see it now. I didn't realise that.
So that's Unicrimp.
Come and get some. Here I've got Neil from the Scolmore group, and he's going to talk us through about the IP CCTV. how to install it. First of all, do you need an electrician to install it?
You don't have to have any additional training as an electrician to install it, but we would always have a professional install the majority of our products, yes.
And tell me how easy it is to install.
Well, basically, IP PoE. PoE stands for Power over Ethernet. So you don't need a power cable. It's all powered through the data cable. So it's either a Cat5 or a Cat6 cable. The connections on either end are rather like the ones from your old telephones when you used to plug the telephone into the socket. It's called an RJ45 connector. Very simple. You just plug the RJ45 connector into the camera and into the recorder, and that is it set up. You then do all the setup from your monitor.
The size screen, or can you have any size screen?
Any size screen. We've just used these for demonstration. You can have bigger depending on the amount of cameras you have that you use. You can have smaller if it's a smaller domestic installation. It's easier to program from a monitor, but you can use the ESP app, which is called ESP IP View, and you can set it all up from there or via the monitor.
So installation wise, it would take you half an hour, an hour?
Depends on the amount of cameras. Once you've mounted the cameras and you've made sure you're covering the areas that you need to, your house, your unit, your garage, whatever, and then once the connection's done, yeah, the installation time depends on the amount of cameras that you've got. The setup time is very, very simple.
And are the cameras just looped,
No,
or they all come back?
All individual.
So
back to
every
the
cable's got to come back to that
to the
recorder.
The recorder, then you can have as many cameras as you want by having additional what we call switches. So basically there's a certain amount of cable entries in the back, but you can extend those for more and more cameras. It's up to you. The setup is dependent on the actual type of cameras you use. This is our 5 megapixel IP cameras, and just the different cameras here depends on the different use. This camera, for example, here is what we call a fisheye, which is this one here.
I see.
And it's a full 360-degree camera. So rather than having a camera, for example, on a reception desk, one on the entrance door, one on the waiting area, you just have one camera in the middle of the ceiling, and that will record absolutely everything going around 360 degrees.
And can you hear voices?
This one you can do, yeah. There's a little microphone in there. You can't talk through it, but you can listen to what's happening.
So anyone coming to your door, can you get it? Can you get it on your phone if you're not indoors?
You can not. Oh wait, you've got on our app. You can look at every single camera, and that's not only on our IP range of cameras, but all of our range of cameras that we do.
But what about training?
We operate up at our ESP head office.
Where's that?
In Redditch, all of the Scolmore group up in the West Midlands, but we're actually a separate entity based in Redditch. So there's a 2-day training course. The first day we do all of our CCTV systems, both the IP CCTV and also all our analog systems. And the second day, if the contractor wants to, it's all of the fire detection. And it's a hands-on training session as well, where they can actually try and wire up some of the products, as well as learning where they go and why.
So it's hands-on as well as learning.
It's not death by PowerPoint, it is hands-on. Yeah.
And do you have like a test at the end of it and give them a
No,
certificate?
but it is CPD registered, so they can get certificates at the end of the
So
training.
it'd be something I could go and do?
Probably wise, I would have said, Bill, yeah.
Very wise to do it. But there you go. So we're not only selling products, but we train you into using the product, which I think is a real big bonus. Thank you for watching SGTV. We've had 2 great productive days here at the Ali Palace at Elexshow. We'll see you at the next one.